All right, we have a game. So in the red, we have female Bennett. He's going to be playing as the Japanese. And in blue, we have Eagle Handy, who has the Hindustanis. Hindustani is one of the civilizations added in one of the recent download content packs over the recent years. Indian Civ. And Japanese, one of the more classic ones. Right, so the map is Arabia, and we have Bennett. He's made 2 early houses, which is the right thing to do, and straight on to the sheep. He's collected 4 sheep under the town centre, and is now doing his scouting to see what else is out there. So doing the concentric circle approach, and that's rewarded with 2 more sheep. And there should be another couple out there somewhere as well. So he needs to remember to bring them in, and there they go. And the next 2 is right on target for them. And there they are. All right, well played. All the sheep have been found. He's got 1 rhino, 2 rhinos, and the berries. All right, so Eagle Handy is under the town centre with the sheep. And he's also doing a little bit of scouting. So he's discovered a little bit around his base with the concentric circles. He's also scouting with one of the sheep. And is going further afield now. Might decide to take in those ostrich later. But he's discovered enough for the early part of the game. Bringing in one of the rhinos now. Bringing it all the way into the town centre. And garrisons the villages. 2 shots to rhino, finish with the rest, and bam. Lunch is on. All right, Bennett, going after more sheep. Prefers the more organic free-range approach to let the sheep be gathered a couple of tiles away from the town centre. Not a big deal, but you know it does add to the travelling time for the villagers where they're travelling instead of actually gathering or working like that. But again, at these levels, it's not a deal breaker. All right, he does have the mill up. He's going for a 4th house. A 4th house instead of getting the lumber camp out, and instead deciding to take the straggler trees instead of camping up right against one of the forests. And now going for house number 5 and 6. Well, he's certainly not going to be housed anytime soon. All right, so Eagle Handy found another couple of sheep. He's bringing them in, and also going after the next rhino. Villager production is really good, 15 each, but the idle TC time is not the best. So both players struggling to keep the town centre working. But in terms of the matchup, that keeps it fairly even. So town centre idle time is pretty close for both of them. All right, so Bennett decides that 6 houses is enough. That labour is just having a bit of a break before he decides, oh, okay, I need to get some more wood now. So the 4 on wood, 13 on food. Building up to the 500 that you need to go up to the feudal age. So Andy has decided that he is going to go after these ostrich. So good additional source of food, 140 food each. Much quicker gather rate from the villagers if you can bring them in. So just a matter of chasing it into the town centre with the horse, as close to the town centre as you can. And you basically get food for free that you don't have to build a farm for. It's collected quicker, and that can add to your total to get you up to the next stage. Much better. All right, so Bennett, on to the berries now. He's decided now's the right time for the lumber camp, so he's sending 5 over there. All right, both players close to clicking up. Well, actually, Handy has clicked up already, and Bennett is just going up now. So almost a minute difference in the uptime. And resources collected. Handy is well ahead with 2,000 compared to 1,600. Again, I think that's just down to the efficiency of the villagers having to walk quite a way before they drop it off. All right, so Handy is deciding to wall up early. And so he has 1, 2, even 3 villagers on this task. He wants to make sure he's fully walled nice and early. Not the easiest map to wall. It's got a lot of vacant space out here, so it's going to require a lot of houses or palisade walls to get around properly. And over this side, again, it's a long stretch of plain there to actually make sure it gets walled up. It's decided to actually wall across there rather than over here. I guess that's smart. It allows him to be up in this area over here without any danger. So moving on to a second lumber camp now. And Bennett is now up. So beginnings of a house wall here. Possibly could have stretched across from this part of the forest across to the barracks like that. That would have given him more room for farms here, more room to expand, but still have the same amount of house and protection. So he has a nice amount of villagers on wood. We've got 10 there. He's farming early, which is great. And so now I believe it's just a matter of getting resources together so we can get up to castle. So he is actually scouting the opponent as well now. So he is gathering some decent info. Has discovered most parts of the map, the important bits down the middle, and some out to the side. Meanwhile, Handy, not so much on the scouting. He's preferred to spend his time walling up and just concentrating on his own economy and getting things going. So just taking time to get this walled up. I mean, it wasn't the prettiest map to try it with, but he will have a massive section in here that is protected by walls if he can get them down. So Bennett with a couple of spearmen on the field, as does Handy, and camping in the middle just to make sure that nothing unforeseen is happening. So there are 5 relics on this map. There is one down here, 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 and here. So evenly distributed. Both players have 2 in their half. Perhaps Bennett has the better layout of the 2. Handy would need to come a lot further to try and contest those ones. But these 2 are closer to Handy's base. So points 4 and above. All right, so both players just working on their economy. Idle time is much better since the beginning. So only in 30 seconds or so added to the idle time since we last made comment about it. Villager-wise, pretty even at this point. And the resources collected the gap is narrowing. So Bennett has done a better job of being more efficient in these last few minutes. If we check the worker efficiency, both of them pretty similar now. All right, so Bennett is the first to go up. So choosing to invest in some spearmen. So it looks like Handy is now fully walled all the way out to the edges. And so he has a buffer zone now to really concentrate on the economy. And so he has clicked up now, which is a good minute behind Bennett. So Bennett bringing in some of the upgrades, forging. That'll help with the spearmen. So 5 spearmen on the field now. It's also expanded out to take the stone over on the left-hand side. So unfortunate positions for the stone, I would say. This one out here is pretty exposed, as is this one here. So less of two evils on which one you're going to go for there. But he's just going to get a trickle of stone come in. That'll help towards a castle if he decides to go that route. All right, so Bennett is up to the castle age now and going straight for the town centre and takes out one of Handy's spears. So first kill of the match goes to Bennett. And second town centre about to go up. Oh, there's a signal from Handy there. He must not have liked that little encounter. Just wants to mark the occasion. And Handy is now up. So Bennett, 3 TC play. So really investing in the economy this game. And as 2 is Handy. So unlikely to see any action for a little while as both players decide to spend time on their economy rather than getting too much military out. Handy has gone for the camels though, so a bit more mobility, can get around and try and see if he can pick off some field kills early in the game. And Bennett just guarding that area there. So Handy being harassed by the lion, he's going to pick that one off first. Doesn't want that chasing him around. And so he is aware of the town centre there. He's also doing some scouting with his other units. So whether he decides to try and take this town centre out or he's just going to camp there for later. He decides to have a bit of a look now. And he's going to go for the lone villager there. And first field kill. Alright, so that's forced a reaction from Bennett to ring the town bell, which completely stops the economy. So much better. Oh, hang on, we got a bit of a fight here. That's one that Handy doesn't want to take. Spears have done a good job of taking down 2 of the camels there. So town centre bell, it's very few occasions where you should actually use that these days. If you're under fire from something, just garrison the vills close to it and leave the other vills all throughout your economy to just continue doing what they need to do. So ring the town bell in one town centre has the effect of ringing it everywhere, and everyone reacts to the town centre. So you really got to think carefully about using that one. So Handy decides he'll try the other side now. No, he's just on a bit of a pattern to make sure that still keeping active, but doesn't want to commit to anything just yet. So Bennett, thinking that encounter went pretty well, he's invested in more spearmen. They've actually been upgraded to pikemen now. So they'll do better damage against any cavalry, horses and camels from Handy. And just decided that now's the time to move along. See if he can put the pressure on. Finds another kill. He has provoked the lion though, but chooses just to ignore that. Let the lion tag along as far as the lion wants to. Still, that lion very, very hungry, and now it's asked for a little bit too much there. Right, another kill for Bennett. Takes out another spear. So he does have the right composition for these camels. It's just a matter of whether the camels can use their mobility to get some damage done, or if Bennett can pick the right fight and take them out. So Handy has decided to go after some of the relics. He's got 2 monks out on the field, snapping those up. There's already 1 relic in the monastery, so another 2 is going to be a big boost to the gold income and just provide a very nice steady trickle of gold. Right, so Bennett has decided now's the time to put the castle down. So reasonable position. It's going to protect this stone here. It's going to protect the town centre. It's going to give him visibility over the centre. So out of all the positions to take, that's not bad. Handy has decided to invest in a 4th TC. So villager-wise, Handy has streamed ahead with 75 against 58. So that is going to give him a bit of an economic advantage in order to invest in technologies and replenish military quicker than Bennett. Oh, and we have another town bell. So the camels trying to do some damage on the fringes, knowing that it does take time to get an infantry army over to deal with that. And he is going to find some bill kills there. And then force a reaction from Bennett to come over and then run away. So that is pretty annoying, but that is the benefit of having the mobility in the camels. So now Handy has decided to put down a castle as well, just as Bennett is clicking up to the Imperial Age. So this is a pretty sizable advantage to Bennett if he can get to the Imperial Age without too much distraction from Handy. He will be able to make trebs straight away, and he should be looking to capitalize on that and move forward and start taking down buildings. Handy has a lot of resources in the bank. He should be clicking up, but he must be distracted by something. Alright, Handy has decided to start picking off some of the spears, the pikes, and in fact draw them into the castle fire. That's smart play. Ballistic's not yet in for Handy though, so most of those arrows will be missing the mark. But he does have a good amount of archers here. Crossbowmen taking out pikes. So this castle will go up. But that was a pretty expensive fight to take. The crossbowmen taking out most of the pikes there, which leaves the camels relatively safe to go and do their thing now. So just 5 seconds away from Imperial. So perfect time now for Bennett to make some trebs, get rid of this castle. And he's still in castle. He must have forgotten to click up. So window of opportunity beckons here. You know, if Bennett is worried about these raids that are happening, then you know he has almost enough stone in the bank. And what you should do is probably just put down a defensive castle in the back of your town here, and that'll provide cover and defense from any raids like this. So that's a good pick off for Handy there. Town bell again. This brings the economy to a standstill. And once again, Handy's just going to most likely run away. Although he may be trapped here. No, he can get through the forest. So another hit and run raid. Successful. Stop the economy. Got some villager kills. Still no trebs from Bennett. He is lacking gold at the moment, so he needs to get some more vills on gold. Get those resources up and start investing in some trebs. Instead, he's gone for murder holes and hoardings. Potentially unnecessary at this stage, at least the hoardings. Instead, probably need to get more gold up. So that's probably the #1 problem at the moment. So always build some villages. He's got 4 in queue. However, they're not spread out around the TCs. So you got wheelbarrow there. This town centre not building any. And this town centre doing all of the villages. So if you can spread out the production a bit more between all the TCs, that'll help to boom out the villages and start getting that economy and resource gathering happening again. Another town bell. Another stop to the economy. And everyone's out to work again. So Handy, still building villages, and now is going up to the Imperial. So fletching just coming in now for Bennett. That definitely helps with the arrow fire from the castles and town centres, increases the range and the attack of the arrows coming out. Alright, so skirmishes being made and put inside. So the classic counter to archers, skirmishes.
Oh.
But these skirmishes are going to have a bit of a hard time against crossbowmen. Skirmishes are good against archers, but they really do need to be the upgraded skirmishes in order to be able to have a chance here. And Handy fighting from the hill is going to get an attack bonus against them, and that's going to be short work. All right, Handy now with the treb. Still just the one villager on gold here is probably the biggest issue for Bennett right now. But he's got lots to deal with here. He's got crossbowmen harassing his stone source. He has lots of food, needs to be spent on villagers. He's investing into some samurai. Samurai, very nice unit, unique unit for the Japanese. That's going to help with the composition of the army. But he really needs to be getting the economy going. Spending all that 800 food on vills, getting them on gold. I think he's just realised now that gold is the issue. So we now have 4. So we've got 98 vills to 52 vills is probably the biggest discrepancy in this game right now. Map control, map position has been pretty good from Bennett. But at this stage, without trebs, letting this castle stay up has probably been the biggest mistake of the game so far, I would say. So that castle is likely to go down. And 5 samurai are left remaining. So, starting to expand the economy now from Handy out to the side golds. Just move forward with Vils to take the other side of the wood line. And he has a mountain of camels here that could... They want to go in and do some damage. He's going to take that fight. So let's see how this ends up. Pikes should have the upper hand here. And they are taking down quite a lot of the camels there. So, poor fight from Handy. Good fight from Bennett. But it is going to even out because all those samurai are most likely going to go down to the arrow fire and also from the castle fire. So Handy now with almost 40 military on the field against Bennett's 7 has a decisive advantage now. And this might not be possible for Bennett to arrange something to take out this snowball. Monks coming in to heal up any units. And we now have some Scorpion into the mix. Alright, so Bennett down to 44 Vils. And things are looking a bit rough. So he's doing the right thing. He's escaping out to the sides and trying to reboom. Hopefully unmolested out to the side. And he does have some vision here. But he is unaware. Alright, some conversions coming in for Handy. Getting both of those pikes. And healing up. Alright, so Handy deciding to take out the production buildings, making it much harder for Bennett to put anything onto the field. Still holding back with the Trebs. He's decided to patch up one of them. It's on fire. Treb on fire is never a good thing. But now that they've all been put out, time to go in and do some of the heavier lifting. So Bennett still making Vils. That's good to see. So he's got 10 in queue. They're all in this town centre here. This probably is a smart thing to do, given that these town centres are under a lot of pressure and likely to go down at any moment. And we have units streaming across the pitch now. So military production is in full swing now for Handy. Just moved out to the side. You'll have vision out here. Bennett looking to rebuild his production buildings out here. That's smart and the right thing to do. Handy really wants to solidify this position and put a castle right in the middle. And that's going to basically be good night for Bennett's village. The village has been pillaged, as one might say. Alright, so villagers on the move here. Looks like they're going to put a town centre down here and take that gold and possibly even that relic. Now have an armoured elephant in to help with the siege work. Alright, so slowly but surely moving across the map and just eradicating any evidence of red ever existing. And Bennett not giving up. He has the fortitude to keep going. He's going to put defensive castle next to the town centre. And he's still collecting this gold here. So good gold income at the moment. He just needs the time to get something out onto the field. So going for the pikes. Down to 22 veals. Which will be those 7. And these 11. And these ones over here. So we are just over in this section of the map now, into this far corner. So really it's just a mop-up operation now. Handy searching for anywhere that Bennett could have escaped to. And decides that it must be down here. So bringing forward some veals. He's going to put a forward castle up here. Mostly just for the efficiency to respawn more military, but also for a bit of defense in case something's lurking he's not quite sure about. So he doesn't see any of this new town centre here, but he will shortly. Alright, so this army has just gone slap bang into castle. He believes that he can take it down with just this army, but that's gonna probably not work out so great. Do some of the work, but gives handy time to get some other units across there. These trebs need to be packed up and moved. That's a job that no one loves doing. So maybe you might just make some new trebs out of this one instead. He's decided it's not such a good idea to put the archers against the castle, so he's brought them back to safety. And we just have a bit of a breather for the moment. So, Bennett. Well and truly pinned back. Second castle comes in. So the foundation's been attacked, but that castle is going up. This pikeman decides that he wants none of this. He's going AWOL. He doesn't care what the repercussions are. There might not even be a country to court-martial him in the end. He says, nah, not for me. Not for me at all. And he seems to have started a trend here. So these villagers have also decided that the promise of the new land has not worked out, and they're going to make their own luck. Possibly up in the corner as well. He is at the edge of the known world. He'll just spend his time there. Alright, so handy. 2 castles. He really wants this castle down. Still no one's really willing to pack up these trebs. They are a mess to pack up. It takes so long to get across anywhere. This priest, he's got his hands full, but he's forgotten where home is. He likes what he has, but he just doesn't know what to do with it. I think he's forgotten his own address. And so he's just going to stand there for the rest of the game. Alright, so this castle has gone down to arrow fire. One of the more unusual ways to take down a castle. And so it appears that Pikeman has at least one friend who's decided to, look, you're the future of our civilization. I can ensure that if you just let me build a fence around you. Pikeman says, yep, that should work great. Thank you. Thank you for your service. All right, so now Blue has decided, all right, time to wrap this up. So We've got some armored elephants here just to mop up these production buildings. Some final caretaker vills being taken care of. The town bell. Town bell seems to be the hero of this game, I would say. And oh, did not think this one through. So Watchtower is actually going to fire arrows over the wall to the trapped pikemen. And yeah, a little bit more planning in the execution there might have saved the life of that one. As he sinks into the soil, pike disappears and time takes all in the end. And done. Alright, TC's now under fire. Handy. Liking the way that tower worked out. It's now going to do a ring of towers. Houses now becoming a bit of a problem. These trebs are still not packed up. They might stay there now. They might be a monument to the victory. Alright, so town centre has 9 humbling, very scared villagers. They're not coming out for anything. It's a bit of a Waco situation there. They're not coming out. They're there to the bitter end. And the end is slowly ticking down, 1 hit point at a time. So we might be here forever. Alright. Houses been taken care of. Some of the last structures in the game. Alright, so Handy says, alright, nuts to this. I can't wait that long. I'm going to build a siege workshop right here. And I'm going to send an armored elephant in there. And 1106 hit points on the wall. 110 hit points on the wall. If one tower fires an arrow into the town centre, there's 1084. You get the point.
Namaste.
All right, so I think we're just moments away. So full credit to Bennett for not giving in early. You know, playing against other humans, you never know what might happen. You know, Handy might be called away, or it might be a power cut or a disconnect, so you can get a win by default that way. But looks like the plan is in place now with another 2 towers to whittle down this town centre. And here comes the armoured elephant. All right, so let's see this now. 1500, 15, 14, 14. Yep, much better. All right, so we're just moments away now with the extra town centre fire being taken from these towers. A second elephant. And the last ditch wall, and no, into the tower. I think this one has just moments to go. All right, they jump out, and it is a rain of arrows. All right, well, a fun one. Yeah, so I think if there was 2 bits of advice. So when you're up to Imperial, well before your opponent, always best to get some trebs out. There's got to be something you can hit, and there's very few things that can reach trebs and take them out from Castle Age, especially if you're protecting them with your own army. But there was a lot of pressure and annoyance from Handy with the side raids. So to deal with the side raids, just some more defensive castles at home. That will help with that. And I think that could have been a turning point, and this game could have been had a bit more of a different outcome. So fun game nonetheless. And yeah, nice to see it go down to the very end. All right.